Good evening. Remember in one of my videos I shared about how I was going through a difficult time and my back was against the wall. I know I'm off the wall now, don't worry, I'm off the wall. Well, today I have a special guest with me, Michelle, and she wants to share about a difficulty that she went through in her workplace, and she wants to share about how or what actually happened. So Michelle is working as you're a manager now, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. So what actually happened when you were working in the workplace? What happened?
It was an unusual situation. I just graduated with business management, so with my degree. Quite late in life, but I was developing myself. Also, outside of that, I was working on getting marketing training. So it was a part-time role, an accountancy role within a business where I thought, I could be of some use here. I didn't just go into the job thinking, oh, it's money. I actually thought, it's an interesting corporation, interesting to see how things are working. But unfortunately, when I went inside and, although the company has a lot of potential and it was doing so many things, as in working with a community support area, that kind of thing, unfortunately, it was a very controlling, dominating, abusive environment.
Okay.
So on one side, I could sense that the way people were spoken to was quite out of place sometimes, so there's a lot of putting down. As you said, you felt you had your back against the wall. In my case, I was not even introduced to the other team members, as in no one would recognise me by my name at all.
Right.
So it was to the point where I was being X'd out. There was no team membership.
Right.
And to the point where actually as a woman, I felt that, something underhand was happening, whereas I was being put in a position of abuse. So everything all in one that you would hate to experience on in a life. Obviously I'm not married, but if I was married, I would not know how to explain it to my husband, for example. It was kind of thing.
How did you deal with the situation? How did you deal with it?
Actually, I went through the situation by obviously continuing with my work, because the main thing is that I wanted to continue with my work and show a good character and testimony where I was.
Right.
So in other words, not getting angry, not swearing, and not giving up. Not
Which
just
must
being
have been very difficult.
Because my idea, obviously on the first day, I could have just ran out, but actually my decision was to actually, expose. Not only obviously I had things which I needed to work on, obviously, but they had issues which they were maybe not working on.
Right.
So it was just a way of exposing it. So in the end, in my behaviour, in the way I was, at the end, I left after a certain amount of time.
Did you decide to leave, or did you feel like
I
you
felt
had
like
to leave?
It was a point where I revealed what was happening, what was going wrong, and it was a point where they had recognised, after so much amount of time of being disrespectful, they actually recognised, okay, we're doing something wrong, and it was a point where I could have stayed. And it was at that point where they acknowledged their mistake, that I thought my job is done here.
Right.
Because you're not supposed to treat people like that either which way, especially when you've got the maturity and the level not to do so.
But did the situation get better before you checked? Did they?
Yeah, it was a case where it was being dealt with. It was very immediate because it was getting out. It was very immediate, but it was something which I saw. Everyone was experiencing, but they wasn't saying it to each other.
Yeah.
So there was some kind of odd dynamic happening.
Yeah.
Where it was just really, really not nice environment.
Yeah.
So it was my. I had to, try to make a difference by not being afraid, by not being fearful, but trying to be nice in some ways to get a point across, but obviously not trying to put myself in too much danger, which is why I left. Because you're not supposed to be there's no point in putting yourself in a toxic environment asking people to change. It just doesn't work like that.
I thought you said that things were getting better though, weren't things?
Well, when I
better?
left, they acknowledged that obviously it was something wrong was happening.
Yeah.
But there's no guarantee that people will change once they've been away that to you.
Right. Okay. Because
so the fact of leaving was what was the job.
Yeah.
After a while, because you have to make people realise they cannot do that and expect you to be around. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Because I know that people sometimes do go through difficult situations in the workplace, and when they open up, the situation can change, because we're not saying that, if you're in a situation at work, the only way to deal with it is to leave. Michelle just decided for herself that she wanted to leave the job and look for something else, but she could have stayed on, and things may have changed, like she said, may have changed, or they could have changed. But when you left, so you looked for more employment, didn't you? And so what was the position that you got then?
yeah, so after that, I went into, actually, it pushed me because coming out of that situation, the best thing was is that I didn't react, even though I was in a situation where I was being attacked in some ways. I didn't react in a situation where I was being, negative or abusive or putting other people down just because they were doing that to me. So that was something when I came out, when I left, I took that strength with me because I thought, well, I'm not going to give up because I made it through that. And I started to get into sales and business, and that's when I got the third highest sales in the UK for a large
Amazing,
campaign.
isn't it? That's amazing.
So
yes.
I did meet people following that who were very supportive, and it was a way for me to think what I really want to do and develop myself, because I
Yeah.
really realised that I didn't want to be in a position just to put other people down or just to say I've got a title. I wanted to achieve something.
Yeah.
And obviously I do hope that in the future, and obviously I want to have a good testimony.
Yeah.
And also with success to help others more.
Yeah.
So yeah. And now
Excellent.
working on this one brand. Before I was working on multiple brands. Now I'm working with this one brand
Yeah.
to take it
Brilliant.
to reach my full potential.
So you're now a manager,
That's
aren't
right.
you?
Yeah.
So
and with really supportive colleagues.
yeah,
Really supportive colleagues.
and that
yeah.
is really encouraging, because again, sometimes that has to happen. She decided she wanted to leave. She moved on, got a much better job, and got into a much better company, and she's surrounded by positive people, so it's all good. But I just wanted her to share, just to make you hear of another situation that someone else has gone through and how she overcame, just to encourage you. So I hope that you're encouraged by this, and please do, if you're going through a similar situation, or you can relate to what Michelle's saying, please comment on my page. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Rosalind Roberts, to like and even share, and also press the notification button so all the videos that I do come up and running straight to you. Thank you so much, Michelle, for coming in and talking to me. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for talking to me today.
Okay, bye-bye.